good day. Today we're going to be looking at this guy here. It is the controller board we had from the hospital bed. So I thought we would have a closer look at it today. Basically what I want to do is see what's going on here. So I know one button here, and I do believe it's this one here. This one right here, that one right there. You can't see it because it's not in focus. See if I can focus it a bit, and maybe I'll bump this guy down just a little bit more. Okay, anyways, this one right here, the up button for the backrest. So that's the only one that seems to be working correctly. So we have 4 relays on here, and obviously we have 4 buttons. So each relay is controlling this one here. We've seen this one before. So we have just felt a lot of heat from somewhere here. So that being said, the first thing I want to do is, like, I could push this button. You're going to hear the relay click in. Well, you might not. Yeah, you can probably hear that. Okay, but that doesn't work with any of the other buttons. So there's definitely an issue, and after further inspecting, I noticed a couple of components that might not be in the best of shape. So we're going to have to look at them. But right now we are powered on. Dealing with voltage like this, you want to be really careful. I do not recommend playing with it like this. Definitely disconnect it from your power before you start taking things apart. So trying to figure out why only, see if it was one side, like if it was only the up and down of one that was working and the other one. But yeah, I'm not sure. Supposedly this LED is supposed to light up here. It's right here. You can hardly see it, but I can't tell if it's actually lighting up. But it's supposed to light up. So either power's not getting to the controller properly, or something's going on in here. So what I want to do is I want to actually, well, we tested the cable already, so I'm not really worried about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug this, unplug it from the mains there. I think we might just desolder this board so we can actually pull some of the components and see if there's anything going on there. So just give me 1 second here. I got to unplug this guy. Right. So we got that guy unplugged. Maybe we can actually focus in properly. There we go. Something like that. So now there's still power in here, right? Nothing's been discharged or anything like that. So we want to be careful in here. I'm gonna have to move my camera just a little bit. Oh, so that looks good. A little better. Now we can actually see what we're doing. So to me, it looks like there is a bit of coloring on here. So I'm wondering if there's something wrong there. But I want to pull the capacitors. I'm not sure if I have extra ones of these, but I'm pretty sure in my bin I should have some. So if we can replace those guys, maybe we'll check out these cement ones here. This is yeah, I'm not sure how reliable these are. I don't see any cracking on it. Or do I? No. But actually what I want to do is I'm going to plug it back in one more time. I want to take my thermal camera and see if I can find any really good hotspots on here to see kind of where the power is going and where it's kind of not getting to. So I'm going to do that quickly here. Unfortunately, I don't have my camera set up to the computer right now. I've got to figure out a way to do that. So I just have this blur here, which is going to be plugged into my cell phone, and I'll take some pictures. So basically what I'll do is if you go on to the Instagram page, I will upload those pictures so you can get a closer look. So I'm just going to go ahead, plug this guy in, and I'm going to show a few things afterwards of what I noticed on this board as well. All right, so I've got it plugged back in here. Got no power going to it, or no controller, I should say, plugged in there. I'm just going to get my phone out here and get this guy plugged in. It should pop up on screen that, hey, your blur is ready to use. I power it on. I bought this thing specifically for scenarios like this, where I was kind of like wanting to get a better sense of what's going on here. Come on, Mr. Fleur. All right. I am just going to see how calibrate this guy. So I'll take one of the transformer. You can see how hot that guy is getting. It's really not that hot compared to some things. I like this overlay though. And then I'm going to bring it down to the main board here. And I'm just going to, what's going to be the best way to do this? Take a picture upside down. So from what I can see, there is quite a bit of heat here. So this is what I'm looking through. It's really hard for you to see, unfortunately. We'll just have to go with it for now. Trying to get it to, that capacitor is pretty darn hot there. I can, okay. So I have a feeling there's something going on in here. The board itself is pretty much dead. I can see like on the feet here, we definitely have power happening somewhere here. As soon as I took my hand away. Something for a hotter reference here, just so we can lights and things going on. wonder if there's a better way to do this. We have, oh, let me try. All right, so I'll post those up later tonight. Yeah, basically what I want to do is just kind of see if there's anything we can do to use those photos to kind of help try and diagnose what's going on here. I could have had too many lights on, I'm not sure. But to me, I've got a really hot on here, but not really. And down over by this relay, it's pretty warm there. So I'm wondering if a diode got shorted out or something's going on. So we will take a closer look, but first of all, we will unplug it. And we'll go from there. All right, so we're unplugged now. I guess I could have flipped it over and looked for some hot spots there. So maybe I'll just do that and see if there's any hot spots on the bottom here. For some reason, my camera is frozen up. So I wonder if I can go, let's go like that, let's go like that. There we go. We got camera again. First time I've ever had that happen to me. Got lots of battery left in it this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a picture of it on the back here and see if there's anything that looks like it's causing too much heat. We'll go from there. That guy. Why would I want Samsung Pay? That's the one we want. Come on, Mr. Fleur. Okay. Find a way to align the heat signature and I gotta flip it. It's not lining up properly. But we can get sort of an idea. And once again, that heat is kind of starting over by that diode there. So that's gonna be one of the first spots that we'll check. But I was gonna do some Raspberry Pi stuff tonight, so I think we should almost do that tonight. As much as I want to play with this, I want to play with Raspberry Pi stuff more. I do have to set up the Raspad yet again, so we can get that going and use that for whatever we want, testing out projects, things like that. So yeah, so when I tested this, majority of that heat was coming right from down on, what is it, D4, right down here. So I don't know, that's where it starts getting hot. We'll have to definitely play around here a bit. And I do want to pull the capacitors, swap them out. One thing I noticed on this when I got it, there was like, I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see there's a little bit of extra shine on the cable here. So I think something was actually built on it. And I don't know. Obviously, they're not using these connections because they didn't have batteries in the unit, but that's okay. The bottom of the board had quite a bit of flux on it still, but I think a lot of these components just need to be tested, and we'll just replace whatever is bad. I'll have to order everything, so what I'll do is I'll probably just have a chill stream maybe tomorrow night where I just throw some music on and I go through this board here, and you'll see me doing that, and not talking too much, but just kind of focusing on this board. And basically, yeah, I think there's stuff on the transformer here. So we even want to try testing out this transformer as well. Hmm. But I think this guy's bad. I want to say this guy's bad just by physically looking at it. I think it's bad, but I think these relays are good. We'll test the relays. We at least know we have one good one in there. So the client would really like this to be working, so we can fix it, we'll do it. But if not, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like little hint, like this board is either so full of flux or something got spilt on it. Because even in the bottom, yeah, I have no idea. I think something just got shorted. So I'm thinking we're going to go through all the capacitors and that. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm just going to desolder this board, put the transformer aside for now. We'll test that out later. And I'm just going to mark the inside cable here. And then that way everything goes back where it belongs, right? So when we flip it over, you know, we know that this is going to the edge of the board. We just want everything to go back to the way it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn my soldering iron on here and we'll pop that guy off and make quick work of that, and then we'll save that for tomorrow. I just want to get some room on the bench here so we can get the ras pad down here and we can go ahead and do some Raspberry Pi fun. So I don't want to burn any cables. Yeah, so like I was saying, for my top-down camera, this is the battery pack that I have for it. But I just learned recently that it's the wrong pack for this camera. So I don't know, but I'm also looking at the contacts here and they look pretty dirty. So I might clean those up and see if it'll work a little bit better, because it did work before. I just have to have the battery cover or the battery door open, which is definitely not a huge deal. I'm gonna power on my iron, and I'm going to we'll get some water, and then I'm going to I'm just gonna I'll show you what I do. Just give me 1 second. I'll show you the trick I learned for these bigger wires. It's nothing special, but it'll do. All right, so there. Actually, I'm station over here. Come on, you guys, get over here. I'm gonna go to work. All right, I got some water on my hands, so make sure you dry your hands after that. So I will. I always found that when it came down to these kind of chords and that, so when it comes to this here, a lot of people will mark it with a pen. They'll put a piece of tape around it and that. But over time, that kind of gets away from you. So what I do, go like this. There we go. Now we know exactly which one is going to the outside of the board there, just by putting a zip tie on it, and just being able to, yeah, distinguish which one's going where. Because once we unplug or take these out, they're both white. So can you put it in wrong? Probably not. Who knows? But if it's in there for a reason, you want to put it back the way it came out. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm just going to tin up my soldering iron here, and we'll get that guy removed. I guess I could have used the desoldering iron. Actually, you know what? Let's do that instead. So power that off, and we will play with the desoldering iron. Hopefully that'll make quick work of it. Might be a little loud here for a moment, but sorry for that. So this is the desoldering iron. A little bramp. This is the model number. If I focus in on it for you. There you go. So that's the unit that I'm using. It works. And we'll just wait till this gets warmed up here, and then we'll take that transformer off of there. Solder. No fume extractor for me. Alright, so I'm just going to flip this on its side here. And like I said, we have the cable labeled here. So yeah, sure, you could probably slide that off if you tried, but less chance of that coming off than a black piece of felt or something like that, right? Here. Go. Got that desoldered. That should just pop right off of there. Like that. Put this guy back over here. And we can put this guy aside for now because we will not be needing it. Moment, we will test it out though. Because you never know, it could be the transformer that's the issue. If we test these components here and find that there's nothing wrong here, then chances are, well, you can only go back to the wall, right? So that's what we would do. Start on here and work our way to the wall. Eventually something's going to happen. I did check out the pins here. I really think something was spilt on here because this is just the dirtiest board. You know what? I'm gonna pull this capacitor out right now. It's just gonna be these two since I have the desoldering iron out. Have a look here. Okay, that guy's out. I did that. It's like something exploded, but I don't know where it's from. sure. Should I just pop out the rest of these capacitors now and we'll just test them first thing tomorrow? Where's this one? There, over. I can see if I have replacements. Okay, let's pull that one out. You know, for the longest time, I was jealous of everyone that had a desoldering iron like this. I always wanted one. Where is this going to? We've got one cable that's being lost one of our battery connectors here. We'll have to put that back on. Hope this is the right one. Maybe. I felt it come loose there. Alright. Oh, yeah, bad Sally. I just have a feeling something happened on here. Huh? That was C9, C8, and C1. C1, C8, C9. And then we'll do C5. Try to get that out here. Of a spark there. I guess I should discharge that first, eh? This is where I thought I had an issue over on this side here by that diode. So catch the spark. Should come out now. Go. That. So C1, C5, C7, C9. Okay. Got to remember that for myself there. Here. Breaks there? No, that all looks good. Yeah, I think that's all I'll desolder for tonight. Gonna bring up a spreadsheet here just so I can write this this stuff up. But that being said, wouldn't it be really convenient if we had a Raspberry Pi that we could just have all our documents for logging on right in front of us all the time? I think that's a really good idea. So you know what? Let's get the Raspberry Pi, the Raspad going, and we'll set that up with all our stuff for schematics, for logging projects, that kind of a thing. We'll just have it as our little organizer of sorts. I think that might be the best use for it. It's not meant for anything hardcore by any means. So let's do that, and then I can actually keep record of everything from serial numbers to attaching photos, all that kind of stuff. Let's do that. That sounds like the most wonderful idea in the world. And oh, oops, that's my fault there. Might have to clip that little spark. If someone can clip that, that'd be great. But we'll do it after. All right. We've got our Raspad here. I will just grab my micro SD card that's conveniently flashed with a new image here. I'm going to get this going, get VNC working, and then I will pop it over onto the main screen here, and then we can start doing some data logging and things, and you can come up with a fancy way of uploading it so others can have access. But for now, SD card or micro SD card in, power button. It's somewhere over here. So I'm not even going to. Oh, I hate how loud this thing is now. So I'm not even going to test these guys tonight. Basically, what we're going to do is we'll come up with our spreadsheet. We'll put the location of the component on the board, and then we will put the value of the component, and then we'll put what our reading was, and go from there. Have it just a nice little log of data that we can access, so we can kind of reference and see what's going on. And then we'll just work our way through resistors, capacitors, the capacitors, diodes, resistors, and then transistors, and this bad boy here, this KBL 406. I bet you that's got some issues too. They always do. And I really need to figure out something to make the fan quieter on this guy. It's gonna happen. It's what you get when someone else builds something. Oh, getting so many scratches on this. But I do believe I have a protective cover on it. I may or may not. Oh yeah, I do. So there is a protective cover on this, so once you peel it off, it'll be nice and fresh and minty. And then all we would have to do is well, put another one over top. And I think what I do is that thicker 3M stuff, I'd take it to a car detailing place and get them to just plaster the top here. I've actually had them do cell phones in the past, and yeah, really good stuff. And try to clean this a little bit here. Not really helping any. Okay, got system booting up. It was doing the file resizing. Come on, guy, open up. Eventually, we will get there. There we go. Got a Raspberry Pi screen, so let's just go ahead. I should be able to touch screen preferences, Raspberry Pi config, and then it'll pop this screen up here, right there. and you can't see it because the light here. So what if we like turn the light off? Maybe no, you still can't see. So that's why we're going to bring it up on the screen here. So we're going to go to interfaces, VNC enable, click on OK, and then we should be able to get connected. I think this one is 176. Find out in just a moment here. Come on. And then right there, VNC. Of course you can't see it. 177. That's the magic number. All right, so let's bring that up here. Here. All right. And really setting this up for that kind of data like machine is not going to be hard. It's just organizing and making it so everything is easily accessible when we go to actually do anything on here. So I'm going to go 177, I said. Okay, we're going to continue. All right. Let me get, where am I? Let's go here. And there we go. We magically have that there. All right. The multimeter is actually working too. All right. So I'm not even going to look to see if I have those components until tomorrow. I'm not even really worried about that. They've been without their hospital bed for a while now, so I figured I have a little bit of time to tinker on it. Plus, I don't want to do it when I'm tired or things happen, and we don't want things to happen. So I'm just going to go ahead and we are going to update the unit here. Show updates, blah, 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 blah. Basically installing everything. And I'm going to take a water break. We will be right back, and then we will carry on once this is complete, and then we'll be able to actually have some fun. I wonder if there's any apps out there already kind of that would kind of play well with what I want to do. Having a database for all the stuff that I go through and the boards and stuff, because I do work in the medical industry and a lot of this stuff really hasn't been done. There's not quick and easy accessible documents for anyone in the industry that is doing what I'm doing anyways. I don't know if there's many that are really down to the board level. 99% of the guys would just say, oh, you need to buy a new controller board. That is what they would tell you. They would be like, sorry, it's broken, we can't fix it, go buy a new one, it's gonna be $1,100. They wouldn't bat an eye. They just tell you it'd be 1,100 bucks. Is it? I don't know, chances are it probably is, but anything medical is like instantly 1,000 times more than it needs to be, because really you look what's inside this controller board, and besides the two connectors, everything else we could go and buy off the shelf. We can go and buy everything here, and honestly we could probably make a better looking PCB than what they did. Yeah, like 4 relays, couple capacitors, some diodes, some resistors, transistors. Yeah, nothing major. Anyways, I'll be right back. Stay with me here. We will be doing more with the Raspberry Pi. If you have any questions, just toss them in the chat or in the comments section, depending on where you're watching this. All right, so we've got that installed there, and updated there. I'm gonna let you see the full screen for a little bit here instead of me on there as well. That's not needed. We're not doing anything too special. So a few things that I would like to do right off the bat. I'd like to get the preferences. I do not want any image right now until I find something cool to put back there. Color, I'm going to set the background to black there. And that's basically all we're going to do for right here. And then we're just going to change a few of the settings when it comes to what we can view. Bluetooth, we do not need on. So we're going to get rid of that right away. That's just more power consumption. Mind you, the Raspad has its own power supply and battery pack in there. So it's not a huge deal. Let's go ahead and have a look here. So the first thing that I usually like to always do is I like to, I have no problem with the 24-hour clock on here. So what we're going to do is we are going to set up the clock here first. That's going to be the first thing, this guy right here. And let's go to digital clock settings. And we have our clock format. What we want is this here. What is it? %I. And then, oh boy, what was it? It was and P. Try that. So I don't really care about the PM there, but you know, we'll go with that. Oh, that's got our clock now showing what time it is, without guessing or figuring out, you know, when it's 2014, realizing that's 8 o'clock, but it's easy enough to do 24-hour clock. So 20 minus 2 would be 8, right? Well, 18, but minus, yeah. There is a method to my madness. I'm going with it. All right. Next thing I want to do is I want to add my panel settings here. I want to add and remove panel items here, and I want to add CPU temperature. I always love to know exactly what's going on there, so we're just going to bump that up and move it on up. I always like to have it on the left side of my VNC, and then we're just going to add the CPU usage monitor, and we'll just bump that right back up beside that, and that will go right there. And preferences, and we're going to show it as a percentage. I love percentages. Easier to kind of gauge what's going on when. Another one that I do love to use is the resource monitor. I wish there was another one that would kind of match these two guys. But we'll just go to resource monitors, add, move that on up, moving on up. There we go. And then we're just going to go to preferences. We're going to turn off. We're going to turn the RAM on. We're going to turn that one off. Hit OK. Now we should only have the RAM usage in here. Only bad thing about that, we don't have any, I would like a percentage in there. So there's probably a third party something that would work, but yeah, we're just gonna go with that for now. So that's done. Now I have my desktop kind of set up the way I want it. The next thing to do would be to create a projects folder, right? So we'll just create that on the desktop here, and so this project's not what should we call this? It's not a project. It's just going to be a bucket full of we'll call it projects for now. We can always change it after. And then we're just going to go here. We're going to create new file, and I'm going to call this one the blah 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 blah. When I say that, I mean that in the nicest way. So this is the YZ001 hospital bed controller board. That was supposed to be a file. Go to rename. Copy that. Okay. Delete. Yes. New folder. Try that again. There we go. That way, when we go to do our list view, we will be able to base it on, and we could even, if we get more hospital bed stuff in here, we can make our own category for just hospital beds. But I'm okay with just doing it this way for now. We can always adjust and change things later on. Okay. So I do have a 64 gigabyte card in here today. We got 48 gigs free. And then what I want to do here is this is where I'll do so if I go to Office and LibreOffice Calc, this is gonna be what we can use to make our files here, and then we can reference any sort of photos and things and just dump it into the folder here for reference, just so we have some sort of log of what could probably, you know, and so other people, they might, this might be the YZ-001 hospital bed controller board, but it might also be an RT4-1234 bed controller board. So we don't know if there's going to be other ones. So having pictures, having other documents that people can go through will definitely help. But now I have that kind of done up. I'm going to bring this back here. What other projects did we have on the go here? Oh, right. So I meant to actually tell you about the motor, or not the motor, the controller for the power chair that we had that we looked at last night, and I was like, everything kind of looks good there. I want to test it more further on a machine before I go ahead and dive deeper into this. And there was a reason for that. You can usually tell when a controller has been used a lot and when there's damage on the inside, you can really tell. So it looked too good to me. And with that being said, I ended up taking it to the shop, plugging it into a machine, and it worked. So, where was the problem? Well, I went and grabbed his charger because maybe I thought one of the pins were bad on there. It's a 2 amp, 24 volt charger. So I plugged it in. And the power light didn't come on, the status light, nothing. It would not charge. So I grabbed another one from the shop, plugged it in, it started charging. So instead of $1,100, because that's what everything costs nowadays, it's only going to charge him, it's only going to cost him a new charger. So he's quite happy about that. So that was avoided, and we're able to get that back to him, and he's going to be able to use his power chair again, and we don't have to worry about that. There was nothing really wrong in there. I went and found like other broken controllers that we could pop the XLR jack off of it so we could actually mount that on there. Maybe there was a bent pin on the inside and we just couldn't see it well enough because we don't have a microscope. So how would we know? Just by poking and prodding in there if everything's okay. I don't know. I was jumping at conclusions before actually getting to the point where I was like, yeah, we just need to do this. And then I did that and found out it was so simple that it was just the charger for the power chair. So we just carried on. And that's why the hospital bed controller board here will probably get more of the attention now because there's nothing wrong with the other one. All right, anyways, let's get back to this here. So what I'm going to do now that we have this setup here, I do want to install PyApps. And the reason I want to install PyApps is we can even install Git on here as well, because we're going to want that. So basically, all my projects get dumped to my web server. And from there, I just jump onto whatever computer, pull the files from there. But I wouldn't mind something that's dedicated for all my files like that. And not like really large, like video files, stuff like that, just for like documents and projects like this, where we're just basically collecting as much information as we can. So hopefully down the road, if we need the information, we can actually figure out what's going on. And, you know, we'll do a list of even a Word document listing procedures and testing what to test first, where to go second, all that kind of stuff. So that's what this folder here will be, you know, another separate 2 or 3 folders. We're going to make it standard. So we're going to go here. So we can name this one, let's go photos, and then new folder, documents, and new folder, folders, photos, documents. What else would we have for this? Photos, documents, and well, the documents folder will carry most of the stuff, so we just need the 2, and then we'll just do like we don't need to create a folder, we'll just create a new document here, new file, and we'll just call this, make it a readme text file where we can update anything in there, any notes, references to documents, photos, all that kind of stuff, and why we're
doing this board and this project, and then that way, like the board that this bed came from, in the last year, I've had 2 or 3 of these units actually fail. So this is not new to me, but taking the time now to go through it is another thing. So that's what we'll be doing here. And this way we can actually just upload all this stuff. You can download it and have a documented kind of folder and add your own stuff to your own projects as well. The more we share, the more we know, because a lot of these documents aren't out there because they're not created yet, right? Or you have to be some sort of certified technician for a company to be able to acquire the documents you need to fix these things. So things like all the writing on the casing with all the different labeling there, the E310, 345, things like that will get written into the document. That way, if someone has that labeled on their unit, there might be a chance that they might kind of work together. Okay. So the next thing I kind of want to do is, what else we want to do? Not really worried about doing anything else with the panel. So if you haven't hit that follow button, please do that, guys. It costs you nothing. And also make sure to check out the YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube, go and check out the Twitch channel. You'll get to see these videos before they're released on YouTube. So there's a bonus to being a part of both. So you can watch the pre-recorded stuff on YouTube or the live stuff on Twitch. So come and say hello. All right, so I've got that folder done. So yeah, there's my projects folder here. So what I might do is I might relabel this and have the serial number or the model number on the right here, and that way the next hospital bed controller board, if it's a different model, we can just put that at the end, but they're going to be categorized together. So actually, you know what? I just talked myself into doing that right now. Okay. Okay. There we go. That's simple. And now we're going to be able to just have that quick and easy accessible on our desktop. And empty the waste basket. And now I'm going to install Pi apps. Not that I haven't done it like 100 times already in the last week, but we're going to do it one more time here. So I'm going to bring up terminal here. And I'm just going to go edit, preferences, and this is how you actually change the font size and everything. So you can change your window, all that kind of stuff. Style. So terminal font right here. See where this number 10 is. We're just going to go over here and we're going to just I think 20 sounds like a wonderful number. And there we go. Now you guys should actually be able to read that when I'm typing on there. So now you can follow along instead of squinting your eyes and getting in really close to see what's going on. And that's all it takes. So every time I open it up, it's going to be that big, right? Versus people that, you know, zoom in on it all the time and stuff like that, right? Because you do have your zoom in, your control, shift, and your plus button. So with that being said, let's install Pi apps and we'll go from there.
Alrighty, so that's all done. We can close that out. And I think we are going to go to game. I don't think I need all this stuff on here, but that's okay. We'll get rid of things as we go along. All right, so I'm just going to go to all. We're going to install a few things here. A, B, C, D, E, F. Here. Oh. Okay, so we'll probably install that, but I'm not going to install that right now, I don't think. What else can we install? Maybe I'll install Discord, and I do have a Discord server running, but maybe we'll post that up at some point here, and you guys can join that. Everyone has a Discord server now that's a streamer. I've had one for a while, just for projects I was working on, integrating it with them. I used the Matrix voice for a project, and I actually had a bot that was in my channel there. So there's a few IoT things that it was nice to use Discord as the hub. But we'll play around with more things with Discord later on in the future, but not right now. Too many projects on the go and too many things to do. So got here. Right. Where Franz is tonight. Franz had some internet issues the other night there, and I haven't seen Franz drop by. I was hoping, but hmm. Okay, so what else did we want to I wonder if this is the newer version of Fritzing. We can definitely do some board design and stuff on here at some point. But I definitely prefer it on my main Pi, so I'm not going to worry about that. Library. So
lot of this stuff I'm looking, and it can just be installed with your git install, or not your git, your sudo apt install. So there's my program. I got to check to make sure that's up to date for these guys. God, well, what's this? Organize, edit, and publish your photos. No. App Store. Monitor task. I want something that's gonna need to update, buddy. We are using. I totally forgot. Which operating system I am running. So I think what we'll do is just give that a quick check here. Okay, so it is the 32-bit. I was just wondering if it was the 64-bit. I think I went back to the 32-bit on the Raspad, just because I do need to install the I have to install the you know, the thing to do the thing, you know, so you can do the other thing. Don't want the virtual keyboard. I don't really think I care about that too much, since I will either be using a keyboard on it or I'll be just going VNC into it. So I don't want that. I'm just quickly going to the install the rotating screen. That's what we want. So we'll just go back here and we will do some of this stuff here. What happens here? Just because I do like to stand it up on its other side, and it just helps to be able to rotate the screen. All right, moment of truth. And I probably have to reboot. So sudo reboot. And we'll wait for that to reconnect. I'll do a quick screen test. Set that back up where it belongs, over yonder. Out of my way. Oh, this thing's loud. All right. Starts up and the screen's the right way, we can carry on. And I think I will get these all installed. Fine. Ah, there we go. Just took it a moment. But we are back in business here. Raspad's kind of set up again. So now I'm just going to go to projects here. I'm going to go File, LibreOffice Calc. And
hopefully we should be able to load that up. And then we're just going to save our information in the documents folder here. Once that's up and running, and then we can, I just want to get those 4 capacitors logged so I know where they go. Did you know? No, I don't want to. I've used you before. Okay. I'm just going to spread these out just a little bit here. So location, component, value, and so this is one that and reading. I don't know. This might change, but so right now we have C1, C7. Okay. Let's go. Or is it R6? 8. R17. Oh, that's R would be resistor, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna go with C1. If I'm wrong, that's okay. So C1, we're gonna go C1, C7, C9, and let's say I'm gonna put D6. I could be completely wrong here, but we're gonna go D6. Okay, so C1 is the big one here. That's 50 volt. So capacitor. Oh, did I spell that wrong? Really? There we go. Capacitor. Okay, we're gonna go like that, and then we'll go up here. Bring this over here. This over here. Then the value it should be, and then what our readings are going to be. And then we could even do notes. We can have our notes being where we can purchase the part, whatever we want, all that kind of fun stuff. But on the Raspad, on the 7-inch touchscreen, this is kind of nice. It does look really good on there, so I'm quite happy with that. So C2 or C1 is the big guy, and that is going to be a 50 volt, 2,200 unifards. UFs, no Fs are given. Then the next one is, I do believe the C7 and C9 are both, they are both 16 volt 100 unifards. So 16V 100 UFs, 16 like that. And then our final one is the D6 there, which is a 50 volt 100. Right, 50 volts 100 UFs. There we go. Now I have this logged, and I will go file, save as, and going to go to desktop, projects, hospital bed controller. Oh, back there, documents. And we are going to call this one components. Controller board. Go. Close that out. Now I can walk away from my workbench. Someone can come and basically knock those capacitors onto the floor, vacuum them up, throw them away, do whatever. And that's okay, because now I know what they are. And what I'll do is I will go through the board and I will list each one, hopefully getting it somewhat kind of accurate. And we will list all the components by what they're listed on the board. And then we'll test them and we'll see what's going on. So we'll clean this board up. Like I said, there's some really old flux on there. And I know these hospital beds are, well, they're fairly old, right? These are not new in any shape or form. So, yeah, just go with it. So that's going to do that, guys. The capacitors can go over here. Now we know which ones are those. And then I always have a reference going forward. If someone, if I had to rebuild this board, or I wanted to put a kit together for a rebuild kit, so I had it to go if it ever happened again. So I could have capacitors, resistors, diodes, and relays, or whatever, all in a bag, ready to go, swap out the components, and hopefully have another working unit after diagnosing and seeing what was going on. I will be going through all the rest of it. I do wish there was a schematic available for it. There isn't, so we may do that up. Because once we get all the components listed, we can use fritzing and design that up. And really, if we wanted to, we could just make our own new board, have all new components on it, and just be able to swap it out. The only thing is we need to test the transformer as well to make sure there's nothing wrong there, which I don't think there is. But there was a lot of heat coming from the unit compared to what it was tonight, being an open air frame. So yeah, tonight was just a quick stream. I'm going to sit back, relaxed, watch a movie, and probably maybe tinker on this stuff a little bit more. Probably not. We'll probably carry on with this tomorrow. But I just wanted to kind of show you what we're going to be doing there. And we're just taking our time. There's no rush on it. And, well, there's always a rush on it when someone is elderly and they would like to be able to use their hospital bed. But, yeah, we'll get through it this week. And next week we'll start on another project I have over here. It'll be repairing a scooter controller board, where we'll remove all the transistors and everything from the board, test each component, and see what kind of I know there's an issue with it. I actually broke it, so I gotta fix it. So yeah, anyways, so that's gonna probably do it for me for tonight. I just wanted to kind of set up the Raspad tonight for doing these projects, and that way I can kind of document it all. I don't know if there is anything in Pi Apps as far as Google Drive or Dropbox or anything like that, but maybe we'll see if we can get something installed so we can just dump it in there, and then we'll make another folder where people can dump their stuff into. We can kind of build up a nice big database of different random boards and things that have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Like, because one week I could be working on this board,
Next week it could be something completely different, nothing medical related, but being able to have just a big library of documents on demand um, would make things a lot easier, and something that we can take with us. So if I had to, I could take this to work or wherever and be able to pop up documents. Keeping it would be nice to have some other software on here for using my PC oscilloscope, as well as creating a program for the multimeter to do some data logging that way, which is okay. We can do it on our cell phone and transfer that over onto here as well. So we can get actual physical readings and see if everything is within tolerance, that kind of a thing. So anyways, that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you for watching. Once again, hit that follow button. I greatly appreciate that. And I think what we'll do is, if Matt is still streaming, we're going to go back and check him out. He might be finishing up, I don't know, but we'll go over there and we will say hello. And yeah, we're going to go that route. So thank you for watching, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow, hopefully. I'm just going to bring up... Oh, where is it? How do I get you over there from here? How do I get you over? I don't know. Let's close this. Close this, maybe. I'd add a little display here. Okay, we'll do it the other way. We will do it through the stream manager here. Here, main pie, and we're gonna raid. And he is gone for the night. The airborne surfer is done for. Okay, I guess we're not gonna raid anyone tonight. I see everyone's kind of lurking anyways, so once again, take care, guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.